Thomas Harrelson Jr. If you can hear me, if you can just tell us your name and real quickly, 10 seconds or less, what are you trying to get out of the class tonight?
Home ownership. That's
Home
it.
ownership, yes. Awesome sauce. So if I think I covered everyone, I'm going to go back to Miss Picado. If you can hear me, um, okay, for whatever reason, we can barely hear you, but if you can just put in the chat your name and what you would like to take away from the class. I got Mr. Adonis Summers who just joined us real quickly. Mr. Adonis, we're asking you to tell us your name and what you would like to get out of this class tonight. 10 seconds or less.
Uh, I'm Adonis Summers. Just more information about uh, budgeting better,
Okay.
better info on uh, taking care of a house,
Okay.
and uh, planning on buying a second house.
Okay. On better information on taking care of house, budgeting, and purchasing a second home. Awesome sauce. So the last person I see here, we got Miss Briggs, Miss Gloria Briggs. If you can hear me real quickly, if you can just tell us your name in 10 seconds or less, what you would like to get out of the class tonight.
Hello, I'm here.
Hi. All right, real quickly, Miss Gloria, can you let us know your name and then 10 seconds or less, what you'd like to take away from this class tonight?
Oh, my name is Gloria Briggs, and I would like to take away um okay a better way to manage my money
Better way to
and
manage money
finance.
and finances. Awesome sauce. Again, everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we will go ahead and get started with our class. Without further ado, our executive director, Mr. Larry Laws.
Okay, good evening. I don't want to welcome you out to this evening webinar. This webinar is basically a series of financial capabilities that First Home Alliance offer. And I will just basically give you a little bit of history of First Home Alliance. We've been in existence since 2002. Started the organization right after I retired, while I was in the military, and started full time once I retired. And so our mission is to increase sustainable home ownership and also improve financial literacy among the low and moderate. And also, we reach out to our military veteran community. We're a HUD approved housing counseling agency, and basically what that means, we have to cover a lot of red tape. And so a HUD gives us quite a bit of credibility. It builds relationships among other institutions and also our local community. And so we partner with the Virginia Housing. We've been partnering with Virginia Housing since 2004. We're a HUD intermediary. Or we're not an intermediary. We work with an additional HUD intermediary, which is Home Free
Denied, be
USA.
quiet.
And so now I want to share with you a little bit about the additional services that First Home Alliance offer. And Charlene, can you just cover just briefly on the services that First Home Alliance offer? And actually, these guys already went through the intake, but just really briefly about the intake for individuals that may be listening in the audience.
Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to talk about, again, the services that we provide. So First Home Alliance provides pre-purchase counseling as well as pre-purchase education. And so I could say a class like tonight would be considered as our pre-purchase education. We also offer online education through eHomes America along with Virginia Housing as well. So that's the pre-purchase services that we offer. We work with individuals who currently own their home. If you're experiencing a hardship, First Home Alliance have a foreclosure prevention program or loss mitigation that we offer as well. We help individuals try and to mitigate with their service or to say sustain home ownership. So again, as you see in front of you, I'll just start where I left off, which is the reverse mortgage counseling. So we offer that where an individual who is trying to possibly use the equity in their home, that's reverse mortgage or home equity, um, reverse mortgage. And so we offer that as well. Excuse me, guys, I have some children in behind me asking me a question. Emergency preparedness planning, financial recovery counseling. That's another service that we offer that is really, really um, that program in itself right now is extremely important because of the pandemic, what we're going through. But First Home Alliance offers emergency preparedness, planning, financial recovery counseling, household budgeting, financial management, as well as credit improvement. So if you are experiencing a hardship or you're just trying to, like I heard from a lot of individuals on the call tonight, you really want to get your finances under control, learn how to better manage your money. First Home Alliance has a program for that, as well as rental counseling. We work with Virginia Housing with their education program, their curriculum, with their rental counseling. We offer that. And again, I've already touched on the online home buyers education, eHome America / First Home Alliance. If you're looking for education and you need that certificate, if you're going into home ownership and you're a first time home buyer, we offer that service. And again, we covered on Virginia Housing. We work with them as well in their home buying education program.
Okay. Thank you, Charlene. And many of you came into contact with First Home Alliance, our virtual housing counseling. We provide that virtually, and most of you a lot of you, we had never met in person. I say met in person. We didn't meet a person to person, but actually online. And so all our counseling right now is virtual. And we're also improving our mobility, where we are taking in consideration not everyone is have the technology to join us virtually to enter documents and things of that sort. And mobility, basically, I mean, we're going to actually mobilize, technology to where you are in certain cases. And so we're looking for support among the supporters there can help us extend not only virtually but actually mobile, well, we'll be mobile to bring technology to the community to provide these services. Well, first of all, of course, we cannot do this alone. You have Charlene. Charlene is our senior counselor, and she is have been with the organization for over 14 years. She's a senior counselor, and she is a specialist in reference to saving homes. So some of you are on the call. I know you came on for different reasons, and we're broadcasting this. If you're facing challenges with your mortgage, or if you think that you're about to face challenges with your mortgage, or really, I will have a slide at the end of the webinar tonight, so that to let you know how you can complete the intake and actually come in and start receiving some coaching and guidance in reference to sustaining and keeping you in that home and making your mortgage more affordable for you. And so we have great experience in that. Charlene is an expert in reference to the loss mitigation and sustaining homeownership. Um, a lot of you guys, and those that do not know, we have our program manager, which is Nathan Daly. Nathan specializes in disaster recovery and recovery financing. And so we're basically have faced a health public pandemic now, and a lot of you are experiencing financial difficulties. And so we're mobilizing our counselors and being able to provide that service so that you can sustain sustainable living, and also, of course, sustain homeownership and reach your financial goals. We already mentioned the reverse mortgage counseling. We have a counselor, Song Hutchins. She's specialized in reverse mortgage counseling, and so we have that specialist online as well, and can provide that service. Our media coordinator and intake person is Vinny Johnson, and he's doing a lot of work out there outreaching, and I'll talk to you about an event that we have coming up starting in just a few hours, that he's doing some hard work behind the scenes. And then we have our Spanish translator and caseworker is George, and George is a person that you will probably get an opportunity. If you don't see him on the webinar, you'll probably have contact with him in reference to working your case through. All right, and so I thank you guys for introducing yourselves at the beginning. To let me know who's on the line, and I want you all to participate in this class that we have here. Um, I am sorry, someone says it's hard for me to read, but I'm trying not to put my glasses on. So if I have to, I will. Okay. Tonight's webinar is setting your financial goal. And this class is a very interesting class. It is one that I think is the beginning, of reaching that goal or attaining some success in your life. Many of you mentioned about financial management, some home ownership, some sustaining home ownership. There's a lot of different things that you mentioned in there, and we may speak of being financially stable or financially successful or whatever it may be. If it's dealing with finance and but also obtaining a lot of other things that is not maybe financial, it's basically setting a goal. And so we're going to talk about setting a goal, and I'm going to ask you guys to participate during this time as well. Uh, and so this was rolling in here. If you want to achieve financial security in a lifetime, you need to establish clear goals. If you set these goals and remain focused on attaining them, managing your finances will be less difficult. And so we spoke in reference to managing, and we'll get into a little bit later in other classes. We'll get really deep in reference to budgeting and managing your money. But I want you to start here in reference to a beginning point. But what I'd like to share with you, even at the beginning, you need to look at your goal, look at the future. What will that goal look like to you? And so if you don't know what it looked like, then it's not a clear path. You know, if I use the analogy of a person on a bike that is trapped, that is going through a trail, and there's a distance point that they are trying to get to. There's rocks, there's branches, there's curves in the road. If you do not main focus on the goal where you're going forward, you're going to end up hitting one of those rocks and maybe tumbling along the way. If you take your eyes off the goal and look down at some of those rocks and sticks that you're nearing on your bike, more than likely you're going to hit them, or they're going to cause you to stumble and maybe also cause you to fall off track. And so, yes, we have to guide ourselves along the path, but I want you to set your focus and set your goal a distance and keep your eye on that goal. Of course, in reference to reaching that goal, you need a plan. And what I would like for you guys to do, I know you mentioned some things here tonight. I wrote them down. And so I'm going to go back through. And for those that mention their goal, you may say something different. Now, I wasn't able to I got about 80% of those goals that was stated, but I just wanted just a quick ones that would like to share in this exercise. I'm going to go back through and ask each individual, just say your name and give me your wanting to go, because to say 3 is too long, immediately. Goal 1 and goal 2, okay? And so I want to go back through, and if you can unmic yourself, just give me your name, and I will yes, and let me know what your number 1 and number 2 goal is. Okay, go ahead. I see someone open already.
This is Kim. Sorry.
Kim?
No, go ahead. Hi. My number 1 goal is to purchase a home. My number 2 goal is to pay off my car.
Okay. Okay, and I think go ahead, the next person.
My name is Rhonda, and my number 1 goal is to repair my credit and save money.
Okay. Okay, y'all want me to call it? Yes, go
Adonis,
ahead.
And my number 1 goal is to have better financial sense.
Say that again.
And my number 2 goal is to
Adonis, it was hard for me to hear you. What's your number 1 goal again?
Oh, my number one goal is to make better financial decisions.
Okay. All right.
And my number two goal is to perfect my number one goal.
That's one way not to. That is definitely one way not to forget what number one is. That's what I'm talking about. Make number two reinforcing number one. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Next, Rita.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Hi, my number one goal would be to increase my credit score, and number two is home ownership.
Okay. All right. Okay. Next, we'll call somebody.
My name is Nakia. My number one goal is saving, and the other goal is to increase my credit score.
Okay. All right. Next person. We have a Thomas.
Yes. My name is Thomas. I would like to purchase at least 10 or more acres of land and then build multiple properties on that land for immediate and extended family.
Okay. Building homes. Okay. Next person.
Hi, can you hear me? My name is Bernard Pinkney.
Yes.
Okay, hi. My first goal is to try to get myself out of some of my financial issues. And my second goal, if that works, of course, is to get some sleep. I've been working at this for a while, so I need some
Okay.
rest. So
All right. Super. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Is that the total we have, Charlene? 7?
Hi, my name is Arnita,
Or Anita? All right.
and my number one goal is to get my credit score at 800. That's what my number one goal is. And then my second goal is to have a certain amount of money in my banking account.
Okay, so we have 12 participants. So how many goals do you have at this time, Larry?
I got eight people.
This is Mariana.
Mm-hmm.
This is Cook. I have more than two goals, but you know, if I start telling, it's gonna take more than 10 seconds. So,
Hello?
Go ahead, Mariana.
savings, right?
I want to pay off some of the bills that I have. They're like just overwhelming. And the second one is to repair my
Now
credit.
you're just on this one by yourself.
Okay. Let's pay off some bills and repair credit.
Now you can talk.
All right. Okay. Who else we have?
Me, Gloria.
Gloria, go ahead.
Oh, okay. My first goal is to become more knowledgeable about buying a home, or, you know, getting to own my own home and everything. And then the second one is to, you know, get started with the steps to do just that.
Okay. All right. Who else do we have?
Okay, this is Bernard Pinkney again. My wife wanted to give, she's on, her name is Dorothy. She's on transit on her way in, but she told me to tell you her goal is to try to pay off her debt and then start to create some sort of savings.
Okay.
That's
All
Dorothy
right.
Pinkney, by the way.
Dorothy Pinkney. Okay. Yeah. There's another Pinkney that I'll be with on Saturday. He's a retired sergeant major, but I forget his first name. Do you know a retired sergeant major Pinkney?
I think everybody in the world who's named Pinkney is probably
Oh,
related to I don't know.
okay.
I really feel
Okay.
that.
Yeah. So we call everybody Conrad in the last name. So I don't know some of the guys' first name. Yes, but that's a good name. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, and that may be one other person online that did not speak because Pinkney mentioned his wife. Was there someone else that maybe not spoke, did not give their goal?
And so we want great class participation. So please, if you did not give us your goal, If you could speak up, or if you're just shy, put it in the chat.
Yes, put it in the chat. And if you say no, don't say my name or something like that, Charlene, when she state whatever you said in the chat, then she would not, she would disregard your name. But we want to hold you to it. And so that's one thing about this goal setting. And what I mentioned before is one is like holding yourself accountable. It's basically it's difficult sometimes for us to be accountable to ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
so we need a partner. We need a partner, or we need a mentor, or we need an advisor, someone that we're accountable to. And so that is one of the things that we would like to emphasize in reference to helping you set your goal. Okay. And so in reference to this goal, what I want you to do is one, we want to ensure that it's written. And so a goal basically that is not written is basically just a wish or a dream. And so we want to make sure to help us set these goals. We're going to write them down. And so in reference to do that, in reference to if you was going to do a business plan, you just don't sit here and just uh, basically give a presentation on some off the top of your head and thinking of these things that you may have repeated them before, but you actually need to actually start a plan, and to actually really get that plan into action, you need to write it down. And so I know I mentioned you for two goals. It is great to sit down and basically write your goals down. And then we're going to talk about basically prioritizing these goals. And so, in reference to setting these goals and getting these goals, yeah, we could sit there and write. I could basically write. It's that time of year. I would recommend if you really want to challenge yourself to achieving these goals, and I would say to actually, if you say, well, it's hard for me to achieve goals. Well, one is you're probably not setting them correctly, or you're setting them too high, and you're not making them smart. And we're going to talk about making those goals smart. And so basically this is a good time of year. Do not wait until January to start saying what you're going to do for that time period. If you want to attain your goal, if there's a goal that you want to attain within a year, and if you want to put a calendar date to it, then I would say put it pen to paper now. Put it pen to paper now. And then a few weeks later, you want to go back and analyze that, and also then you want to prioritize it. But actually, once you do that, from the time that you actually write that goal, that is you're actually taking the first step. And so do
Mm-hmm.
not say, well, I'm going to wait until then to start, because you've actually started. And so set yourself some milestones along the way, and share those milestones as you're achieving those with your mentor, your counselor, your partner. And as you are achieving those goals, you're going to realize that, yes, I can attain goals. I can set goals and I can attain them. And attaining them, basically just tracking. I've accomplished this milestone, I accomplished that milestone, and continue to move forward. And you can accomplish goals that that you may seem difficult now, but you'll know that you can attain those. And so, in reference to these goals, you want to, in timing, uh, there's different studies in reference to what is short term, mid-term, and long term. For this class purpose, I will use the short, long, mid-term, and long term as defined here. However, short term for one person is not always short term for another. And so here, it's basically talking about something that is short term is that can be accomplished within 1 year. I know I would like to say it depends on what it is. If it's in reference to saving money to make a purchase, and if it's something that I want to purchase that's only cost, say, $20, I don't want to wait a year for that, and so I may make that as a short-term purchase, but I'm probably going to purchase that within days or weeks. And so again, it depends on the scale of the
Mm-hmm.
goal as to where you may log it in as short term or long term. And so short term, we're speaking of something for saving money in reference to for an emergency. You hear about emergency savings.
Mm-hmm.
Emergency savings. Uh, some may have heard that emergency savings should be 6 to 9 months of
Months.
your net pay. Like, wow, how can I save 6 to 9 months of my net pay? Well, it would not, you're not going to be able to do that in 1 month. And so you can set yourself a goal. Well, I will save, that is my ultimate goal, to have 9 months of savings. But for some, it may take you 5 years to reach that goal. It may take you 10 years to reach that goal. But I would say, if you do set it a long term like that, as you start accomplishing it, and you're going to set yourself some milestones to make it a little bit easy for you to see that you're moving towards that goal, you'll probably hit that goal sooner than you think. But having that in mind first is could be a goal, is to ensure that you have emergency savings set up. Setting up an emergency fund may be something that could be attained a lot sooner, rather than saying that I'm going to have my emergency savings at the recommended amount of 9 months in that short term. Okay, and so we mentioned a few other short-term goals. It could be a social event. I think that in reference to savings and adjusting your budget to attain, say if you want to attend a football game now, and it depends on where the game is and what game you're talking about. If you're speaking of the Super Bowl, it may take you a year to save for that amount. And so that short term could take you 12 months. And we're going to talk about how that you're going to attain these goals, and how you're going to be able to attain that in a reasonable amount of time. And then making major purchases. Again, that could be a short term accomplishment. Midterm, for this class purposes, we're speaking of midterm, is goals that can actually be attained within 1 to 3 years. Again, some midterms goals should be actually 6 months. But for this class purposes, we're going to make midterm is 1 to 3 years. This is basically saving to purchase a car. A new car, of course, for some, it may take you a while to actually save that amount of money for a new car, but also you could be saving to make a sizable down payment on that car, so that the monthly payments would be reasonable for you. And so saving for a reasonable amount on a down payment on a car, you could set a goal 1 to 3 years to have that amount of funds. And it's not, if it take you 4 years to pay off a car, basically you could save for a car in 4 years and purchase that car outright. And so there's a lot of different things that you can do. If you basically set a plan and put it into action, you can attain those goals. So midterm, again, 1 to 3 years. And so, if you all are with me, could y'all just give a thumbs up, or put? What I would like for you to do, if you're tracking, then I want you to put a plus sign into the chat. Can you all do that for me? Put a plus sign into the chat if you're tracking. And if you're asleep, real quick, put a negative. Put that negative sign in the track. Okay, y'all got that, right?
Don't lie.
Put the negative sign in the chat.
We're looking at you.
Okay, where's the chat at? I don't see chat.
Okay, so your chat, it should be down at the bottom of your
Down at the
screen.
bottom? Okay,
Uh-huh.
I see it. Okay, thank you.
Oh, look at this, Larry. We got some good participation tonight.
Really?
Yes, we do.
How many negative do we get? Did you put that
We
negative?
we don't have any negative.
Oh,
we got
boy.
only plus.
That's
Good,
what I'm
good,
talking.
good.
That's tracking. That's tracking. Y'all tracking.
Yes.
All right. And so now we're talking about a long term. Long term goals. There we go. Long term. The definition of long term, of course, it is something that is anticipated for a major purchase. Now, when I say major purchase, a major purchase for me may be different from someone else. A major purchase would be in reference to purchasing a home. It's a major purchase. I know some of us are unrealistic in reference to purchasing a home. We're unrealistic into paying off your education or your college or saving. We're unrealistic. But if you're being realistic in reference to that, especially if you're speaking of maybe the conventional way of purchasing a home with a loan where you have to put down 5 up to 20%. If you have to put 20% down on a home, it could cause you to actually set a plan to save for that down payment. And it would be unreasonable to save for that down payment within a year into most individuals' spending and income and habits that they have. And so, but setting that for 5 years, that would make that obtainable for you to save sizable amount of money for down payment on a home. Paying off education, or basically saving enough money to pay for a year of college or 2 years of college or so, or maybe for you or a child or someone's college, it may take you a few years. So there's different plans. There's some state plans. If I'm not mistaken, the 509 plan that you have, that you can get started. And when we're saying long term, you can pay into the plan 15 to 18 years. And so in 15 to 18 years would give you a good opportunity to reach that goal, to ensuring that you would have the amount of money that you anticipated to save for that education. And of course, retirement. Retirement, yes, unless you're going to go out and hit the lottery, then retirement is something that you should save for. And do not just depend on one source of income and one source of a retirement. And so if you do have in mind that you're going to depend on your Social Security income, I would encourage you to think of some other revenue streams in reference to the amount that you're going to get in Social Security. There may be a 401 plan in there. There may be some other annuities in there. There could be some insurance things that can be converted over to annuities, other investments, and of course, that could be real estate, something that's going to bring you, continue to pay your residuals in reference, just like, and it's not just like, it is the same. Those residuals can start working in your life now, and they can continue after they retire. So think about those different revenues of income. And so planning for that, those are long term and not necessarily short term. Okay, do everyone understand? If everyone, let me know what is considered midterm. If everyone put in the chat, what is a midterm goal? What is the time limit on a midterm goal? And if you sleep, put Z. Can I get some Z's in the chat? We have any Z's in the chat, Charlene?
We do not. We are
Okay.
getting, it's a consensus from the group, 1 to 3 years.
Okay, sounds good.
And then we have 1, 2 to 4.
Okay, okay. And so I had asked you all earlier in reference to your goals. And so if you track those goals, if you've written down your number 1, 2, and 3 goals, or if you have a list of goals, what I really challenge you today, and I would like for you, if you're in one of the coaching sessions, you can share this with your partner, or share it with your counselor, your advisor that you're working with. And I want you to select one of those goals, prioritize the goals, and then select one of those short-term goals that you plan to obtain within the next 12 months, and challenge yourself to actually start writing it now. You're going to write it, and I'm going to tell you how you're going to take this goal, this specific goal that you're going to identify, and how you're going to attain that goal in 12 months. Okay. And so how we're going to help you attain that goal is actually making it a SMART goal. Now, how many people heard of a SMART goal? And if it's yes, 1 for yes and 2 for no. And if you're hungry, put a 3. Anybody that's hungry out there and missed a dinner, put a 3. And so we'll know if I need to throw some food out here. Okay. Okay. And so SMART goal. And so the SMART goal is basically it's an acronym to spell out, and we're going to go through each one of these, depending on the time as to how much detail I will go into each, and also ask for your participation. The SMART goal, one, you want to make that SMART goal specific. Yet, in answering this, goal to making it specific is some questions that you want to ask. You want to find these things out, and these are that goal that you're speaking about now. You're going to make it specific. One is by designating basically who. You're going to answer some questions: what, when, where, and also how. And the answer to some of those things, to help you answer to those, you're basically asking yourself, what do you need to accomplish? That goal, um, and I'm gonna skip down to that why. In reference to when you say what you need to accomplish, you want to keep in the back of your mind with that why, because the why is going to be what's going to encourage you. It's going to inspire you to reach that what. Okay, so what do you want to accomplish? It's not the goal could be that I want the $10,000, but what do I want to do with that $10,000? I want to purchase a new car. That's going to be my sizable down payment on a new car. The next question you want to ask is when. When are you going to accomplish this? We already know you're going to select one of those goals out of the list of goals that you have listed there, that it's going to be a short-term goal. So when someone asks when, you know, you would be able to identify. And we want you to actually think about actually putting a date on it. Put a date that you're going to accomplish this what. Where are you going to start? And I would encourage you that if you're going to actually attain a goal and you're writing it down, then you have started now. And so put your start date, and then you want to say when you're going to accomplish this goal. Who can help you, motivate you, encourage you? Who's going? You need an accountability partner. An accountability partner. And so designate that accountability partner. Someone other than yourself. That accountability partner, a lot of us, we set goals and we keep them to ourselves. You slide them underneath the rug. So just in case, months down the road, you pull it out and say, hey, I had this goal. Like, yes, right. Who believe you? Okay. We want you to let that accountability partner know up front. These are these are a list of my goals, but this particular goal that we're talking about, this specific goal that we're going to make it a SMART goal, go ahead and let them know I'm going to accomplish this goal in 12 months. On this day, I'm going to accomplish this goal. And when I said about the why is what's going to inspire us. It's going to drive us. So the $10,000 for the down payment on the house that you're going to purchase it, what is it? Why? Is it why? It's because you living with your in-laws and you want to get out? Is that strong enough to you stick every month that you're going to save the $886 to make sure that you have the 10,000 at the end? Is it because maybe you're in a one bedroom and you have three kids and you know that they need their space, and so you're doing it for your kids? Is it for,
Definitely that one, Larry.
you
That's
think it's
that
that one?
definitely, because research has shown that due to the pandemic, people are now realizing that they need more space. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, Bernard, you shaking your head because yes, you find out that, hey, I need to do something. So I'm sorry, I wanted to, yes, definitely.
No, no problem. No problem. And so you guys out there that I know that was thinking about your goal, then I'm going to ask, you don't have to share it at this time. And I may ask someone to share it, but for right now, I want to make sure that you wrote your goal down. And then I would like for you to write your why. Why? Okay. And I'm going to well, you guys already stated your goal. We didn't say they one that we was going to reach in 12 months, but you stated your goal. Okay. And so we're in the middle of the class. I would like to open up because I think it's very important in reference to the why. And so could each of you open up and just basically tell us your why in about 10 seconds? Go ahead.
This is Bernard. They let
Yes.
me go
Okay.
first. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. The why is freedom. To be able to reach that goal and pay it off. What that's going to create for me is it's freedom, peace of mind, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And my wife just said it's security for
For
her.
security. All right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't have to ask you who your accountability partner is.
Do you do not you do believe?
Okay.
That's
All right.
everything right,
All right.
buddy.
Thank you. All right. Okay. The next,
This
I'll
is
go.
Nakia. Oh, well,
Go ahead.
Arkia.
All right, Nikki.
Go ahead, Nikki.
I'm going to piggyback off Bernard and say freedom to do what I want to do on my timeline because I have very big goals for myself and my family. I'm trying to create generational wealth, and me getting my credit in order and even higher will allow me to do some of the things that I want to do.
Okay, Nakia. Thank you.
I'll go next. This is Kim. I would like more stability for me and my two boys from renting for the past couple of years, and it has not been a good experience in renting.
Okay. Sounds good.
Ariana, I think relieve the stress and definitely piggyback. I'm piggybacking off what Bernard said. Definitely a freedom not to be stressed out about being so behind in bills and
Yes.
open a lot other doors.
Yes. Okay. All right. Someone else want to
Hello.
share the why? Go ahead.
This is Rita, to provide more opportunity and open up more doors.
Okay. All right. That's Rita.
All right,
Okay.
we have one in
Super.
the chat. So Mr. Harrelson says to keep family close and provide long-term financial options. And then we have Miss Picato who says to establish security.
Okay. Super. All right. Okay. And so I want you guys, while you're going along your way in reference to attaining these goals, keep that why in mind. Keep that why in mind. That why is the enforcer. And so that is what's going to help you reach that goal, is keeping a why in mind. All right. And so now we're going to further define that goal. And so we in the area in reference when I was talking about making it specific, and I gave a lot of the information, but I'm going to drill down a little bit in reference to really helping you reach this goal, this financial goal. And I've heard some in reference to, there was one that said in reference to saving, repairing credit,
Yes.
paying off debt, getting your credit right, you know. And so on here, it could be, I put a statement here saying, I want to walk more. You know, and that's just an example. I'm gonna stick with the financial thing, but I put them note on here and basically walk more. Do you think that is measurable?
Yes.
Okay, that would be measurable. And so if I wanted to, we're speaking of making this a sustainable, a smart goal. And do you recall back here when I mentioned about, let me see, I know I skipped over because I didn't want to get drilled too deep into the each of the definitions, but in reference to making this smart, it was specific,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And then we mentioned measurable.
Mm-hmm.
And so, give me some examples of one that says getting. Now, someone gave Anita. Is it Arnita?
Arnita, uh-huh.
Yes, you gave a very good example in reference to getting credit. Someone mentioned about getting your credit right, repairing your credit.
Yes.
Do
I
y'all
did,
remember what
Rhonda.
Anita said? Do you remember what she said about credit? Anita said
800 credit score.
Mm-hmm.
she was very specific.
Specific. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm very specific on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Very specific. She
Mm-hmm.
said that she want to attain a credit score of 800.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only that is in reference to the S has been specific, but it's also you're able to measure it. Say if your credit score now is a 700 and you want to make it a 800. And so to be specific in reference to, and we can, you actually get this goal statement. So working on that goal statement would be, I'm starting today. I'm going to attain a score of 800 by December the 31st, 2020. My score today is 700. I'm going to increase my score by 25 points within 90 days. And so you see how you can measure that, because it's a raw score. It's not like this, I'm going to walk more. If you want to make this more specific and that you can measure, you could basically say, I'm going to walk around the track 16 times a day. Then it's measurable. You're not leaving it vague. And so I want a credit score of 800. That's okay. It's specific. How are you going to measure it? You're going to measure it each quarter to see if you're meeting your milestone of 25 points every 90 days. All right. And I'll give you another example. One was well, I see a lot on repairing credit. One is about being knowledgeable. Someone said more about being knowledgeable of purchasing a home. And so being knowledgeable of purchasing a home, somewhat specific, and we're talking about gaining knowledge. And so to be more knowledgeable, well, I don't know anything now. I don't know what my first steps are. And so then 12 months from now, I want to be the most educated person, empowered with all the knowledge that I need to actually step out and purchase my home. And so there's going to be a lot of education and training involved. And so I'm going to take a class and I'm going to learn some of the different steps. I'm not going to go through each of the steps of home ownership, but you would want to start with education. So educating yourself would be your first step. So the first step would be, with the next 30 days, I'm going to attend a class to help me understand the steps into home ownership. And then once you learn those steps, you would begin to attain those things in reference to the step that we understand: budgeting, credit, loan processing, and things of that sort. But yes, you would go through each of those steps and fully educate yourself on being more knowledgeable. And you would put the measurement in there, how you're going to measure as you go forward. Okay. All right. And so I'm giving you an example in reference to these goals and how you structure in this goal, and you're making it a smart goal. So we mentioned about the goal. We talked about I'll go back to the credit of 800. We know that it's going to be measured every 90 days. Then here it says attainable. This is the A in SMART. Attainable, basically another word that is also used is actionable. It's evaluate it and see if it's really honestly, could you achieve that? Is that achievable? And so I'll ask the question to the group. One, do you think that you increase your credit score by 20 points in 90 days? One is for yes. Two is for no. That's no way you can do that.
It has to be realistic.
Well, on here, attainable, and yes, the next acronym is realistic, but attainable is very similar to realistic. But can you? Honestly.
And so the question again, you stated, was, can an individual increase their credit score by how many points in 90 days?
25 points.
By 25 points in 90 days. And I'm going to say yes.
And so she said yes. Yes, attainable. You evaluate it. Basically, I'm not saying believe everything that you read, but you can read some articles and basically, or you can talk to a counselor and they will tell you, yes, you can attain that. And so, yes, that's one of the things you can do to figure out if your goal is attainable. All right. And this is the example here. I would say $15,000 for down payment and buy a house in 2 years. That is attainable.
Yes, it is.
There's, yes, many people have attained that feat. And so, and a lot have purchased a home in 2 years and without saving 15,000, but many have saved 15,000 in 2 years and purchased a home. So it's
Mhm.
attainable. Someone mentioned about irrelevant. And so this is when we're speaking, I'll go back to the credit and use an example. We found out it was attainable because if others have done it, you can do it. Um, is it relevant in your life? I mean, maybe there may have to be some sacrifice. Uh, your credit basically reflects a lot of your behavior, and so if you have bad behavior in reference to not paying bills on time, you're going to have to change that. And so all you have to do is change your behavior, pay them on time, and then you will see that increase in credit score. And so it may not be just that simple a change in a behavior. I'm going to now pay my bills on time. It may be some sacrifice in reference to what you're spending. And so you may be spending money on the gasoline pump around the corner that's right before the interstate. You know, everyone know that first exit for gas off the interstate is the highest gas in town. So you're like, I can't wait until I get into this. No, you can drive probably 2 blocks and save yourself a few dollars.
That's funny.
Okay. And so again, I was talking about bad behavior. That's just basically some knowledge of not knowing that this is the most convenient place to stop. It's right here when I get off the highway. I don't want to go a few lights and get caught up in traffic, get caught by the light or whatever. And so it's just a behavior of you may think that's inconvenient, but if your goal is to increase your credit or to save money, you change your behavior, then you will see the difference in your savings, availability of funds, and again with that, that is going to increase your score. We were talking about the credit score, increase your credit score because you're now can pay some of the other bills on time because you're not wasting money paying the high gas. Okay, and so that's the example. Being making it relevant. It is possible. You can do it. Does it seem worthwhile? Yes, it should be worthwhile if you can save $10 on a tank of gas. Is now the right time for this? Can you discipline yourself to make that deviation in your habits to obtain that goal? And does it match my needs? Your need, if the goal is that I need an 800 so I can get the best interest rate, because interest rate basically in the long term save you thousands of dollars. And so if you get a conventional loan and you got 600 credit score, and look at the difference if you get a 780 or 800 credit score, the difference in your interest rate that you're going to get on a conventional loan. So yes, it is relevant uh, to reach that 800 credit score, and it is relevant that you can increase your credit score by 25 in 90 days to help you reach that goal. This is an example here. I would say $50 from every paycheck starting next week, when then I will increase to $75 after my next raise in January 2021. I just gave this example in reference to a person saving, and someone mentioned about saving and repairing credit. And I think the first one of the first steps, not the very first, is setting a goal. The other step is savings, and then you want to repair credit. If you plan on repairing your credit, you need to start saving money first. And so saving got to be a habit that you keep for the rest of your life. If you want to be successful, you want to be sustainable, you have to save, because hiccups and things of that sort are going to happen. There's most of them you can avoid, and so they're going to happen, and so you need savings. If you're using credit to for the hiccups, and then you're double paying. You paying for not having savings. You paying for credit because of higher interest. So you could become your own $1,000 credit card. And so I'm not saying leave it in the savings. You could start it off in the savings, but look for some way that they can bear more interest than what normal savings can give you. But when you have that hiccup and you have a whatever water pump goes out or whatever, you have the money in the savings to go take care of it. You don't have to borrow money for that. Borrowing money is not bad. You know, no, not most of us don't walk around with $500,000. And so you need someone to loan you $500,000 for a home. So you need that leverage to go out so you can purchase a home. However, you don't need to borrow $50 every time that you need to go buy groceries because you don't have the money saved and you keep using the credit card to buy groceries. You know, this month you got to eat next month. You know, next month, you know, there's holidays, so you can prepare for those things. And so it's a lot of things, again, preparing for that, setting goals, making them measurable, making them attainable, making it realistic. $25 a week, it's not hard to do. Okay, that's an example there. Okay, the last item of this and making the goal smart is time. You want to make it time related. Set a due date to meet that goal. And when I basically started off at the beginning, basically saying we will attain this goal by December 31st, 2021. So put a date on it, put a date stamp on that. Make sure you're talking to your accountability partner to ensure that you're going to reach that goal and that you're going to meet the mouse, the milestones, the mile markers along the way. This is very vague here. I'm going to get my bachelor's degree in 4 years. Well, no, that's not really vague. I'm sorry. That's not vague. I thought it was a vague one. That's very specific. I think if you are starting off as a freshman and you come into a university and you're given a 4-year scholarship, or if you're paying your way, I would set it shorter than that. But if you have a 4-year scholarship, then that would be a goal to complete your bachelor's degree in 4 years. Very specific. Okay, and so in respect of time, I will open it up for about 2 minutes for any questions you may have in reference to setting a goal. Did I cover that much in detail? And so, do
Yes,
everyone
you did.
did
Mr.
I?
Laws, give yourself a pat on the back.
Okay, all right. And so, if I ask that question now, who have heard SMART goal before? Can I get a one for everyone that heard of a SMART goal? Some people call it a SMART goal. Someone may call it setting making your goals smart. And two, if you never heard of it.
So we got in the chat, pretty much everyone has heard of a SMART goal.
Okay, super. And so I want y'all guys, I mentioned about that goal. Make it, it's real, it's realistic. You can do it. You definitely need that accountability partner. Set yourself a
Absolutely.
goal that you can attain in the next 12 months. You can do it if you redefine that goal, fine tune it to how you're going to make it realistic. Make sure it's attainable. Set yourself some benchmarks along the way. And if you're talking to a counselor, they have an action plan. So set that goal, and with those action plans are those things that you're going to take care of, those steps that's going to help you attain that goal. So write it out, you plan your work, and then you work your plan. Okay, and so I have a few announcements that I want to make here. One is that if you know anyone that need help with First Home Alliance, that want to come in for coaching, we have a financial capabilities a series that's every Thursday at 7 p.m. And we have a load of different classes options that help both renters and also homeowners. And I would cover also in reference to the financial assistance or any other assistance or just enrolling in our services. We need for you to go to our website, go to the service tab, and complete the intake tab. Next, I want to invite you all for next week. Next week, we're going to partner with the U.S. Home Ownership Foundation, also known as VA REP. It's another housing counseling agency. They're in California. The headquarters in California. They work with veterans. They're going to partner with us next week, and we're going to deliver. They're going to do most of the talking, then deliver the class on how to buy a home using a VA loan. And so I understand that someone was talking about buying a home. Do we have any veterans on the line? If we have a veteran, I want you to put a lucky number 7 in the chat if we have a veteran on the line. And now,
Yes, we do.
all right. Well, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. And if you did not use your VA loan, there's nothing wrong with that. You can use it. You have another opportunity to use it. And you can also talk next week and find out you can use it more than once. Okay. And for those that are not veterans, it's good information that you can share with others as well that are veterans. So that's next Thursday at 7 p.m. We have our annual gala that's coming up. The gala is coming up on November the 14th, which is next Saturday. Next Saturday, First Home Alliance is having our annual fundraiser. At this annual fundraiser, we have a silent auction. The silent auction actually kicks off at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. So 6 p.m. tomorrow night. If you go to our website, firsthomealliance.org, slash 2020 dash awards, and you'll be able to see information in reference to how you can get to the the uh, the auction that is starting tomorrow night at 6. On Saturday, at noon, we're going to kick off our financial wellness symposium. Some of these classes that we have conducted here on the webinars, they will be shown in the workshop, and also some of our industry partners will be giving finance and wellness classes. That's at 12 noon on the 7th, and those workshops will be available you can watch at your leisure from the 7th through the 21st. And then November the 14th at 7 p.m. we will have our gala. It's going to air. You can go straight to the website to get there. There's some other sites to go to, but on the website and on our Facebook page, you'll be able to join us for the gala. If you know anyone that's in Prince William County that need financial assistance with rent, mortgage, utility, or other living expenses, please give them the information to contact First Home Alliance. We have funds available from the CARES that's handed out through the county that we can assist families that are in need. And so please give our information and have those to reach out to First Home Alliance for assistance. I would like to tell you all, thank you for coming on to the webinar tonight. And I look forward to seeing you all on next Thursday. And I also look forward to you all visiting our website and our gala and the literacy classes that will be in our workshop starting Saturday. You have a good night, and I'll see you later.
Good night.
Thank you. Everybody have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, now you can say.
Good night.
That's Dorothy. That's my wife.
That's your wife? That's your accountability partner.
That's my account.
Okay. Charlene? Okay. Okay, 1 second. I'm still closing off here.